Hey, what's going on, guys? So, I just wanted to talk today about smash mouth football. And just to give you a little bit of background about me, I've been a Chargers fan since 1992 and became a diehard fan when they won the AFC Championship in 1995, I think it was. Even though I know it was the 94 season, I can't remember what date that game was, but I became a hardcore fan. I remember the transformation and everything. But this is why I think there's a good thing that Smash Mouth is back. I love the fact that in Smash Mouth football, when a team has that philosophy, they're focusing on running the ball and dominating the line of scrimmage, basically not letting the other team off the hook. I don't like where teams are just passing the ball all over the field because that results in way too many third and longs, and that has plagued the Chargers. I love it that the Chargers might be going back to their 1992 roots when they just played football the way that you're supposed to play it. In the past, the Chargers have had a lot of success running the setup the pass, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, if you go back to the LT era with Lorenzo Neal, I mean, these guys took pride in just dominating and sunning the other team's defense. And I really have to give thanks and praise to a guy like Roman Oben. I think he came to the team in 1993 or not to 1993, I think 2002 or 3. And he really took a guy like Shane Olivier under his wing and taught him how to play tackle. And the guy was able to be successful right off the bat at right tackle. And if you take a look, I mean, first of all, Roman is the first solid leader on the offensive line I can remember. But he took guys like Nick Hardwick, Mike Goff, Chris Dillman, Shane Olivier, Marcus McNeil. I mean, this guy had an influence on all those guys. And even though he was replaced as the starter by Marcus McNeil and had some injuries, I think, the year before. This guy really, he helped instill that toughness. And I also want to mention Steve Foley, a guy that the Chargers got from the Cincinnati Bengals along with Mike Goff, if I'm not mistaken. And that guy instilled a sense of toughness in the defense. Too bad he wasn't around in 2006 when the team had that great season. Or otherwise, they might have won something. But anyway, back to the Harbaugh way. So Harbaugh's coaching philosophy is always emphasized being physical, being disciplined, having a strong running game. And if you go back and look at his tenure with the 49ers, he had that preference for the power running game, had a really tough, relentless defense. You know, he wants to build a team that can impose its will on opponents. And that's what we've always wanted. I think we've all wanted that. You know, the Chargers have relied on trickery and silly things like that. And I really thought they would let other teams off the hook. I want the Harbaugh way where they impose their will on opponents. They take this strong offensive line that they're about to build. They create the running lanes. They protect the quarterback. And everything's balanced. So the other team is guessing, you know, are they going to run it? Are they going to pass it on third down? I have no idea. It should result in a lot more third and shorts than these ridiculous third and longs. Think about the third and longs that the Chargers have faced. Think about, so you got uber talented Mike Williams, the jump ball master. You got uber talented Keenan Allen. This guy he's like one of the greatest separators in the NFL today. And you got this phenomenal Superman-like quarterback, Justin Herbert, and you got an offensive line that's completely confused. So a lot of the third downs that we've had, go back and take a look at that Titans game when they made the playoffs, where he had to, or go maybe look at, well, we'll stick with this. So he had to roll out, he had to stiff arm a defensive lineman and roll out to his right. Mike Williams throws the hand up, he throws the ball to where only Mike can get it. Phenomenal play, but that's a Superman-like play from both of those players. I mean, Superman-like. And you could go back and look at countless plays that Keenan Allen's made. And the thing is, when you're constantly facing those third and longs, it's not going to work out. That's not a consistent recipe for success in the NFL. So what this smash mouth attack is going to do is they're definitely going to have a lot more third and shorts than they've had in the past. They're going to have less turnovers. First of all, getting rid of Eckler, this guy. He's a Charger great for sure, but he seemed to always fumble the ball when the ball could not be fumbled. And I don't know why that guy was like that, but hopefully this new running back, Gus Edwards, hopefully he is a lot better hold on to the ball when the game's on the line. But anyway, that actually helps me transition over to Greg Roman. So he's here to give the Chargers a more effective rushing attack. And Gus Edwards definitely isn't going to hurt that. But here's something that I really don't hear people talking about a lot. But he's being helped by Mark Trestman and Marcus Brady. So Marcus Brady is the passing game coordinator. And one of the crazy things, or one of the most phenomenal things, I think, is that so Marcus Brady, I had to go look this up. Marcus Brady was a player under Mark Trestman in the CFL. He was a backup quarterback. And Mark Trestman had something called the Read Bible. So it was a comprehensive packet detailing the proper read on every single passing play in Trestman's offense. So really, Brady had a very meticulous attention to detail, and he did a lot of work editing the document. So it really helped him become a coach, so transition from being a player to a coach and rise in the NFL because of his attention to detail. So I wouldn't expect for the Chargers to have that same ridiculously terrible, simplified passing offense that they had. In fact, let me look this up because Steve Young actually was really critical of the Chargers. Let me see if I can find this real quick. So he's really, really critical of the Chargers' work with. Here it is. Yeah, he was critical of the Chargers' work with Justin Herbert because of the passing concepts. He also didn't think the Chargers had the talent around Justin Herbert that he needed. I don't know that we would agree with that, but I would agree with it because they didn't replace Melvin Gordon. They didn't replace Melvin Gordon. I know a lot of people will want to pretend like Melvin Gordon was a sorry running back. That's bull crap. He was a perfect complement for Austin Eckler. And one of the stats that stood out to me above anything else that year that they made the playoffs, I can't remember what year it was. I don't know if it was 2019 or what, but he was the number one running back against 8-man fronts in the NFL. If you suck, you cannot be the number one running back against 8-man fronts in the NFL, even with good run blocking, which they had. So they didn't replace Melvin Gordon. You don't replace Melvin Gordon, you're really you're relying on Justin Herbert to be Superman, which is absolutely unacceptable. But this is what Steve Young said. I'm going to paraphrase. I do have the article right in front of me here. Let me pull that up real quick. So the article said, the Chargers are neither fish nor fowl. If you think about the top echelon teams, now this is back in 2022. If you think about the top echelon teams, especially in the AFC, Kansas City, Buffalo, Cincinnati, and the Dolphins now, they are all teams that are well coached, innovative, and are going to throw their way there. And they've got the personnel, and they've got the quarterback, and they've got the coach. They've got all those things, and that's why it's going to be tough. And the Chargers are not that team. Young is high on Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert, but not on the talent and structure around him. So I agree with it only from the standpoint that they did not go out and replace that running game. And I don't think that they were doing a really good job on the offensive line at the time. So now that's changed. I think that the offensive line that they built is fine. They just need to get some competent coaching in there. So they've got that now. And they've gone out and gotten a power running back now. Now, you might say, well, they got rid of Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. They have no talent at wide receiver. I disagree with that. I know that there's a chance that they're going to draft a wide receiver too coming up in April, but I disagree. I think that if you think about how ridiculously simple the passing concepts were for the Chargers, and I don't think a lot of people know just how badly the passing concepts or the coaching was with the Chargers under Kellen Moore and Joe Lombardi. I mean, I don't think people will understand how badly coached they were last year with this Kellen Moore guy. I mean, I looked at a video. I'll have to see if I can find it and link it. There was a consistent pattern where the Chargers would send out forget what those routes are called. They're like these hook routes where there would be 3 or 4 two or three wide receivers running the exact same pattern and getting open at the exact same time, and the routes not interacting with each other. So you're not confusing the defense at all. Everyone's coming open at the same time, so you can't go through your reads and find anyone coming open at different times. And it's really a very simple defense it's a really simple way to defend that passing by the defense. So like they're not going to have that anymore with this Marcus Brady coach. He's really going to, in my opinion, elevate the passing attack, and he's got his mentor there with him, Mark Trestman. So this ought to be like light years better as far as like the passing concepts are concerned. So if you have better passing concepts, you can use a guy like Quentin Johnston a lot better than you used him last year as a rookie when he was in learning mode. And then you come out here with these ridiculously simple concepts, and the guy is not really the best at disguising what routes he's going to run. I mean, that was a recipe for disaster. I think this year I would assume that he's going to improve his route running. His coaches are going to scheme him open, which is something they did not do very well at all last year. And then there's another guy by the name of Joshua Palmer, which I want to talk about separately. But Joshua Palmer, even in the backup role, the guy, if he played all 17 games, this guy had nearly 1,000 yards receiving if he played all 17 games and had gone at the same pace he was going all year. So I think that things are really like, even if they don't draft a wide receiver, which I'm not sure whether they will or not, as far as like in the first round anyway. Even if they don't draft a wide receiver in the first round, I think that having just Joshua Palmer and better coaching will result in us having a 1,000-yard receiver between either him or Quentin Johnston. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'll come back later with some different stuff. I appreciate you listening. Talk to you later.